Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again, back to earth, back to reality, as we should all be used to by now. Another horrific loss post-game live with me and Jarrett on the Sick Podcast Talking Titans. Let's not waste any time. Sammy, you know the drill. Start us up.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. Talking Titans.
Ward looking. Looping out of trouble. Trying to set up receivers. He's going to throw against his body to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Spectacular. Cam Ward, welcome to Nashville.
The sickest Tennessee Titans podcast. It's going to be sick.
Alrighty, folks. Welcome back to another live edition of the Sick Podcast Talking Titans. Post-game, we're going to get into everything we just saw and more. But before we do that, as always, want to give a special shout out to our great sponsors over at DraftKings. NFL fans, what's your favorite touchdown? For me, it's the next one because the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props, or the thrill of live in-game betting. Every snap is loaded with opportunity. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 6SPORTS. That is code 6SPORTS to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
All right, Jarrett. As I usually do, I will give you the honors. What do you say about that?
What do you want, Bun?
Dad, do we have a chance against Vrabel next week?
Logan, hell no, buddy.
That means he's going to get fired?
I believe Brian Callahan's going to get fired next week. Yes, sir. He watched the game with me. He watches the game with me every Sunday. He witnesses it. You can go upstairs now, buddy. We're done down here. You know,
great job, by the way. Tell him look how great job he did.
Yeah, he watches football with me every Sunday. Wow, for the Titans, and it's miserable. Logan, can you shut that door, bud? Can you shut that door? Thank you. Yeah, we watch football every Sunday, and it's miserable, right? We think we're a football team, and then it's the roller coaster right now. Arizona, we were on a high, which was gifted, a win, and I just don't know. He got me all fouled up, this kid.
Oh man, I mean, we're at a point now where it's like I have to try to find humor in what we're watching because it's just such a devastating situation we're in, and I can't overstate this. I mean. You officially, unless your head's in the clouds, you have to officially be worried about this quarterback. Okay, now, of course, me, you, and most people that love this team and wanted this kid here from the start are going to say, listen, we know the coaching's bad. We know the players are not very good. We know that the number one receiver, or so we believe, was hurt early on in this game. So it's going to leave you with little to nothing to work with. Well, I'm just done hearing that.
Yeah.
Okay, because it doesn't matter who's on the field, who's not on the field. This team cannot score points at all. And there are way, way, way too many quarterbacks that are in this league that have less or that have had second chances and are doing incredible things. It couldn't be more plain in sight, Jarrett. This team has no direction on offense whatsoever, and there could be Jesus Christ under center catching the ball. These people that are running the team are going to find a way to mess it up. Jarrett, we ran the ball 3 fucking times on the first possession. That cannot be a serious start to this game.
Yeah, I mean, what did we talk about going into it on Tuesday's show? I know we missed on Friday because we had a lot of things going on, but we talked about you have to build momentum. What you did in the fourth quarter in the Arizona game, we looked really good. He threw for 193 yards last week, and now you come up with that, thinking that hey, we're going to start throwing the ball a little bit here, and then you just run, and then in the next possession, it was run, pass. It's like, are you kidding me? I understand establishing the run here, but when you're 1-4 and you have nothing to lose, throw the fucking ball. It's plain and simple. Throw the ball. I mean, you made the Raiders look like the 85 Bears today with 5 sacks. Latham looks absolutely atrocious. I mean,
Atrocious.
yeah, I mean, Max Crosby is one of the best defensive ends in the league, if not the best defensive end in the league. So, I mean, it really doesn't say much, but I mean, you're a first-round pick. And that was your natural
Are
pick.
you a top 10 pick?
Yeah, you're a first-round pick, top 10 pick, 7 pick in the NFL draft, and you moved over to your natural position, and you got spanked by Max Crosby all day. And Kevin Zeitler, the free agent guard that we got over from Detroit, he's 35 years old. I'm 35 years old. He looks like a 35-year-old on a football field.
No, he looks 45.
He is horrific. And we thought we had these guys where we can plug and play and protect Cam Ward. I don't know if Cam Ward's back in that spell where he's trying to go through his progressions, but obviously he can't go through the progressions just like because of the offensive line, and the receivers aren't getting open either. I tweeted before the game, get Gunnar Helm involved here. Let's have him get in the end zone. And on third and what was it? Third and 8 or something like that. We were on the 12-yard line. They take him out of the game and put Chig in.
Yeah.
Gunnar Helm is 6'6". He's a huge target. He was like that in Texas. Why not keep him in the football game?
Well, they said he's they said he's really subpar in the blocking division. That's what I've heard from multiple.
Okay,
writers.
You're passing the ball on 3rd and 8 on the 12.
Yeah,
you're taking him out and putting Chig in? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean it's just all bad. It's all bad. I think it's safe to say you can probably assume there's going to be a Xavier Restrepo call up this week.
Why hasn't there been?
I mean, I don't know why there hasn't been either. You're talking about a team that can't get into fucking rhythm, and you have a receiver on the team that's known for his possession catching, that has a legitimate freaking relationship with the quarterback, and you don't feel the need to throw him. The season's over. So I would assume now that Ridley's out, they're going to bring him up, and I would assume he's going to have some impact, although I think we're going to get worse than shithoused against the wing, and we'll talk about that briefly at the end. But once again, everything that can go wrong does go wrong. The defense performs very well, and yet the other team, just makes better use of their big plays by stripping the ball. Listen, Cam Ward, as bad as everything is, and everything's really bad, Cam Ward's not helping himself. Okay, no. He has no touch at all with anything over 25 yards.
No.
Like not even close. And he's not protecting the ball. And I don't care if it was garbage time and the game is over. That last play, that's super concerning. What the fuck's going on there? How do you just drop back and throw the ball?
And the ball and causing that fumble. You can't do that.
Yeah, and even though the game's over and we're down 17, doesn't matter. He needs some sense of urgency. Like he's walking up to the line in the red zone. We're down 17 with 2.5 minutes to go, and he's like, doing he ran it down in like 3 seconds. Like, I'm still as in his corner as possible, and I will go to the grave thinking as soon as we get better equipped play callers and coaching, we're going to do better. But this kid's got to start helping himself. And, I didn't see a lot of that this week from him. But in the same breath, as you alluded to, there were some throws that were on target, on money, in rhythm, precise, no hesitation. And those are the things you look at and say to yourself, okay, let's really hope it's the other surrounding aspects, not just him.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Ward, you'd think he was going to, come in and throw touchdowns and throw the ball down the field. He's got 3 touchdowns on the year. We as a whole team have 5. If you want to throw 5, it's an asterisk with a 5 because I don't count that gifted touchdown and the fumble in the end zone.
No.
I lock it as a touchdown. So we have 4 really touchdowns in 24 quarters. That's a recipe to get you fired. And like I said, I circled it. You called me crazy, Sal. Next week is where we cut the head off the snake, and Vrabel's coming in because that team is clicking on all cylinders right now, and they're going to come in and he's going to prove a point. You should have never fired me. I was not the problem, and he's going to come and spank us, and that's going to be it for Brian Callahan. Why did it take so long? I don't know. This team, like I said, you want consistency. You have not gotten consistency. It's too many turnovers. We had 7 already again today. We have five sacks, 2
Yeah.
fumbles, an interception. I mean, the shit that you think is coachable, it's not to these guys, and it's concerning that when you have a head coach and you have a team and no one's really rallying around him, and like you said, the puppy dog faces and everything. I want a head coach like kind of Vrabel that has that attitude. You know, there's other coaches out there, you know, that we can get in, especially with a young quarterback. A rookie head coach, not a rookie head coach, but you know what I'm saying. Brian Callahan, he's never been a head coach. He's going to his 2nd season with a rookie quarterback. You know, it doesn't bode well in that scenario, especially with an offensive coordinator who's never called offensive plays before, with Brian Callahan and Nick Foles. So that whole disaster, it's just a recipe for a disaster. That's why we're here right now, and I'm banging the table for a veteran to come in here to help this team, to turn this team around.
Unfortunately, you know, some people that I interact with regularly on Twitter think that I don't ever admit when I'm wrong in anything regarding the Titans. I beg to differ, but I will say this: I'm kind of starting to really regret how much I campaigned for Vrabel to be gone, because as bad as we were, we never had a gutless feel to us.
Yeah.
And this team really seems gutless. Now, I will say this: Mike Vrabel has a real potential top 5 quarterback in the league in Drake May. I don't care what anybody says. I watched a good chunk of that game. I had some money on that game, and ironically, I cashed out. Listen to this, for those of you watching, the gamblers out there. I had Patriots +7 and the under. And I cashed out on a $30 bet. I cashed out to win like 150. I cashed out for $3 because they were at 42 points with like 30, like at the start of the second half. And sure enough, there was like no more points scored and I would have lost. But Drake May is a ridiculous quarterback that Vrabel's never had. All that being said, it's just it's there's no answer. There's no answer. And somebody said Levis looked better than Ward. He absolutely does. He absolutely did. And there's that's the unfortunate thing about what's going on right now. Like,
Yeah.
As a whole. No, I still believe the ceiling's way higher and he's better, but they did something different because it wasn't this horrific ever.
No, we were actually in games, and you know, I enjoyed watching the game with the kids, and I enjoyed, you know, sitting down on Sunday and watching the Titans. Now I see myself just standing up, you know, cleaning up the toys over here. You know, I'll go upstairs and I'll just start cooking and everything because the Titans, they're boring to watch. First of all, before I even keep going, guys, if you liked what Sal said, he was admitting himself that he was wrong, please hype that video for us. All right, the man's growing. He's growing with us now. He always admitted, but you guys hate on him for some reason. He admitted it, so give it the hype. Give it the hype it deserves. But you know, the Titans game, it's just so boring. And sometimes I see myself slumped on the couch. You probably do the same thing. As long as everyone listening, you slump on the couch and you're like, this is gonna be another 3 and out. This ain't going nowhere. We're gonna lose this game. It's just the thoughts that go through my head, as long as everyone else's head. There was 2 things that was bright for me today. Jeffrey Simmons is the best defensive tackle in the league. Him getting in with the pressure and just constantly getting at the quarterback has been impressive this year. So I kind of feel like we're kind of wasting him along with that defense. And there has been no difference with Arden Key on the field, and today proved it to me that he was inactive, right? And who steps up, the next man up? Jihad Ward. Jihad Ward brought more to the table than Arden Key, in my opinion, because that guy was all over the field. He put moves on the backup tackle, you know, the spin moves. He was a pass rusher that we needed, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That's like guys like that, give them more of a chance than Arden Key. And for all you Key fans out there, you know, he's brought nothing to the table. So I would love for you to argue that point. And next week it's just going to be, in my opinion, a massacre. Vrabel loved going against rookie quarterbacks when he was the head coach for us. He thrived off of that. And I think it's going to be the same way next week.
I actually forgot. I was so angry during this game that I wrote some notes down, and that's unlike me. So just to bring up a couple of the points, this was before today. before today, because it was on one of the 1 o'clock games, the stat, and after the comeback last week. So before today, the Titans still had the worst second half point differential in the National Football League.
Second half? Oof.
The worst
Okay.
second half point differential in the NFL.
Wow.
I think they were minus 34 or something. Okay, so if that's not the most clear-cut, easy statistic to show that your fucking decision makers on the sideline are lost, then there's nothing else to look at. That's number one. Number two, I wanted to remind everyone that watched this game and is watching this podcast right now that the Raiders have let up over 125 points in the last 4 weeks. That's about a month. 125 points. And in the last 2 weeks, they've let 65 points up. And this team is so horrendous on all levels offensively that they mustered up 10, with 7 of them being in garbage time. The fact that I've already shared the story that I had with Amy Adams Strunk, and you know how kind she was and that she seems to everyone, and how she seems to really care. And I truly believe that, because most times when we've asked her to make the change, she does. Right, wrong, or indifferent, when we ask, she does it. But I don't know what the fuck the reasoning is this time, because this is the most easy, laid out, clear-cut decision she should ever have had to make. No matter how bad she feels about fucking it up again or allowing people to fuck it up again, you got to fall on the sword now and just accept it. You need, this is unwatchable. No one should be expected to show up next week. Like it's the most unentertaining thing you could ever provide for the people you so desperately want their money from. I don't understand what's going through their minds to want to stay on this course right now. What do you think?
I mean, there's nothing in my opinion, and that's why I said next week. I hope hopefully the fans down in Nashville they show up per se, and they voice their opinion once more, because they should be booed coming out of the tunnel. He should be booed every second, every third down, every run. Everything should be booed next week, and God willing, because we know what's going to happen. If and when they lose next week to Rabel, the rain of boos that need to be heard, he does not step on the podium next week. Just because of the simple fact of this team doesn't look ready from week to week, from quarter to quarter. It's not football, like you said. It's unwatchable football. And us Titan fans, we've had it at 1-5. We've had it. We're literally facing 1-6 in the face, and way worse than that, because then you got the Colts and Texans coming up too, and then forget about the rest of the half of the season. That's what I'm saying. I rattled off a couple weeks ago. The schedule. I saw no wins. The win was possibly against the Raiders. I thought, and they were hurt as hell. The Raiders.
They're any team, but us and the Jets.
Yeah,
any other team. I
Let me tell you something. The Jets are a good football team.
They're horrible.
Listen, we would lose to the Jets.
I don't know,
you right now,
they're so bad.
Justin Fields throws all over the place. Besides against one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Usually, I'm that pessimistic.
In their losses, he was throwing for 275 and 300 yards. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He is not the problem over there. Yeah, they may be, bad in other phases, but I'm telling you right now, the Jets would beat us with the defensive performance they put up against Bo Nix today too.
Jarett, they had negative passing yards today.
Yeah,
he had 45 yards throwing, and total net was negative.
In what I'm trying to say is that is one of the best defenses in the NFL. But I'm telling you, besides today, they let up 13 points, 16 points against them. They would beat us.
Regardless whether the Jets would compete with us or not, I just don't understand what the mindset is. If it happens after the Patriot game, that doesn't change a thing. That doesn't make me want. That doesn't make me. No, dude, because you're banking on the fact that there's not irreversible damage done already. I guess you're just assuming that no matter what point you decide, hey, you know what, well, we're just going to put these fans out of their misery. That when you bring in a new staff next year, all this bad shit Cam's doing, it's just going to go away. It's not going to happen anymore. even though, you thought about that was going to be the case for your last quarterback. And then, you saw him regress when you brought in a coach to help him progress. So it's just like, every week that goes on, it makes them look dumber and dumber and dumber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just insane. The fact that, again, I keep going back to this first fucking possession. There is no scout. There is no analyst. There is no analytic jerk off that's going to tell me that made any sense, doing these slow developing runs 3 times in a row after a full week of preparing.
On the road
after your quote unquote, amazing comeback come from behind victory. That's what you put out on the field on the first fucking possession. Yep. That is they are spitting in our faces, Jarrett, and everyone watching. They're saying, we know we suck and we don't give a fuck. We're going to keep doing what we're going to do because we have some kind of plan that you don't know about. And it's going to be the masterful plan that we're going to go into 2026 with. It's just, I'm so over it. And I'm supposed to sit here like an asshole, someone that does a Titan podcast, whether we represent the team or not, talking about the team, trying to show, support for Borgonzi and Brinker. All right, they got a plan in place. They're going to do. What the fuck are you waiting for? I mean, you want to keep making this kid look like an asshole, probably in front of his parents every fucking week? Like, you just want to you don't want to help him a little bit in some way, give him a spark. Like, no, let's just
but at this
crash
point,
and burn.
At this point, he's got nothing, and he's still trying to learn because clearly, like I said before the show, he's going through his progressions, and he sat and he missed Tyler Lockett, on a scramble where he could have hit him. And these guys, like the staff, besides the staff, the players are not helping either. That's what I'm saying. We need a whole entire rebuild instead of this whole, let's piece this together a little bit. Everyone has to go. Everyone has to go to restart this thing. And we're going to have the bumps in the roads like Detroit did. But that's the only way to fix this mess because we have no depth. We have no offensive line besides Skoronski because Dan Moore is absolutely terrible. J.C. Latham is looking like a first-round bust, and it's not even close because, I mean, I don't want to hear that, he came back today. He was going against Max Crosby. Okay, dude, if you let up one sack, that's fine. You got pissed on all day long. I mean, the guy is not even just don't even get me started. The offensive line has been terrible since the Lewan era. We couldn't even put up a line, for the last 5-6 years now. It's been that bad. But just looking at some of these stats, because I love looking at the stats, a lot of it has been garbage time, Sal. I mean, we had the ball in the fourth quarter, a while, 27 minutes to 32. That's really nothing. 15 first downs, 3 for 13 on third downs. I mean, what else is new? Obviously, third downs were absolutely horrific on. And how
many more screens are we going to do, by the way, Jarrett? How many more?
First of all, I saw that, and I saw multiple people tweet that we are literally the worst fucking screen team in the world.
We keep doing it.
You want to see a really good screen team? Watch the Lions tonight, or watch or watch KC tonight. Watch that game. Watch how they get open. The Buffalo Bills do the same shit. They get Shair open, and he goes on a screen. We just throw a screen, boom, tackled for a loss instantly. Scrap it off the goddamn playbook because it's absolutely terrible every time we run it. But surprisingly, we held the Raiders to 226 yards. In that game, the defense played well. Like I said, Ward and Simmons was there. There's concerns. I didn't think that was a pass interference too by Davis. Number 18. That was not. So that was a gift. I think he's played well, and I think he's going to continually play well for us.
That was a horrible call.
Yeah, that we got rid of Brownlee. So I mean, the defense is always going to show up. I know you talk about it all the time, all day on Twitter. The defense is always going to show up, but it's just the offense. The offense needs to go, and it's not going to go, in my opinion. But what I'm trying to say is, do we need a spark? Yeah, absolutely. Do we need a spark? Every time you fire a head coach, is it a spark? Yes, of course it is. Do they like the head coach? I mean, do they like Brian Callahan as a head coach? I don't know because you get the hot and cold. You don't know. No, I'm talking about the players in the locker room, right? The players in the locker room. You get the hot and cold. Yeah, I'll ride with him. I'll ride with him. This ain't Brian Callahan. It's guys in the locker room. But when you actually fire a head coach and that spark goes up and say, hey, all of our jobs are on the line here now that the head man's out. We all have to step up. It raises the bar for that locker room a little bit. Now to say, hey, he's gone. we may be gone too next week. We're playing for contracts as well. So, I mean, that's the kind of spark I'm talking about here, just to ignite something, because whether Brian Callahan's there or not, maybe Fossil gets them juiced up or something, or Mike McCoy, who knows? Denard Wilson as an interim, I don't know. Give them the keys. Give them the keys for the second half of the season.
The fuck out of here,
yeah,
too.
Nick calls all of them. We need, like I said, I'm vouching for the veterans. I want a veteran head coach to fix this mess, and that's the only thing he's going to do. Bo Nix and Sean Payton are the perfect example of it. You have a veteran head coach and a rookie quarterback last year who tore it up and was having a great year this year as well. So that's where I want Cam Ward, and we all feel like we have the guy. He was terrific in college. He was terrific, scouting. Everyone's saying, "Oh, this is the Titans guy. This is the Titans guy." But then what we're talking about here all the time, text messages on podcasts, and you hear everybody, "Are we going to ruin Cam Ward like we do with Mariota? Are we going to ruin this kid? His confidence in the offensive line, going through his progressions and everything." That's my biggest fear right now, because if we do have him, which we all think we do, we're really fucking it up.
I texted this to my dad, or I think I don't know. This is the first game that I'm really starting to fear. If this is going to work out, no matter who, and it's only because like his touch passes were horrendous today.
Before you go on, JR,
Yeah.
we can't develop, we can't draft, we can't improve the offensive line. Borgonzi was hired here to do exactly that. So I don't want to make any judgments on Borgonzi right now, because he had one full off season so far, and he hit this off season. Okay, besides Zeitler, he's hitting the draft. Kevin Winston Jr., Cam Ward, Gunnar Helm. That looks like a very good draft class this year. And like the impact rookies, it may take them a little bit. Cam Ward and Gunnar Helm. Like I said, Gunnar Helm needs to get involved in the offense a little bit more. But that's not his fault per se. But I think we have positive going forward, with Borgonzi, and especially the money that we have next year. We're the top money, $135 million to spend next year as well. So it's going to be a destination city, obviously, with the taxes and a new stadium coming up and a new facility. So those are all selling points as well. As long as it's a head coach that changes and brings that energy, I think we're going to be set up for the future if we get it right next year. And I can't believe we're talking about next year.
Well, I mean, of course we're talking about next year. This is one of the worst years in our entire fandom history. So if you want to look at a silver lining here, and again, this would be a great decision by the management if Cam Ward wasn't regressing at the rate he is right now. But if their plan is, let's keep Hardigree calling the plays. Let's keep Callahan as the coach. So we find our way into the number 1 overall pick. And that way, when somebody, and hopefully there's some college kids right now that are lighting the world on fire, and someone's going to offer up a king's ransom. And then we're going to get your veteran coach, and we're going to use the 2 picks we're going to have in that draft. You would assume you're getting another pick, whether that be, you would ideally want it to be in that draft, and you're getting your tackle and your receiver that you need immediately. Okay. Sorry. I know some of you were, as I did. I'm thinking Io Manor is the next fucking, Randy Moss. He's definitely has some work to still do. He's been a no-show for the last couple of weeks now. Is that because of Cam Ward and the O-line and everything in between? Maybe he still is that guy, and he's part of the reason why, he's another aspect of the coaching ruining players. Let's hope that's the case. But we still need a number 1 out of college prospect receiver this year and a tackle this year. So if that's how this is all going to operate, then great. I'll see you at the finish line, and I'll give you your pat on the back when it's all said and done. But I don't know. I mean, you're lighting your whole fan base's hair on fire right now. And just again, spitting in their face, saying, yeah, keep watching, keep going to Nissan. We're going to keep handing you fucking bullshit, and we expect you to like it. And that's absolutely ridiculous, because every other team in the league besides the Jets has given their fans fight almost every single week, or more so than not. Notice a lot of great games in the NFL the past couple weeks, unless when you're part of this fan base, and not so much.
I mean, it's unfortunate. Here we are talking about drafts and off season and how much our team sucks already. And it's week 7, and I kind of find it funny because even if we do get a top 2 pick, and there is like somebody that wants to come up for a quarterback per se, and we trade back. The draft always falls where the studs are not in the draft that we pick high in, because Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State is a person that we need desperately on this team, and he don't come out until 2 more
There's
years.
no chance.
No chance. He's a sophomore.
Why?
Because he's a sophomore.
What do you mean?
And
They come out after 1 year all the time.
no, not in college. Not in college. You got to come out your junior year.
Really?
Yeah, there's no shot he comes out. He has 1 more year, and it's just funny because then next year we would get that 6 to 7 wins and really screw us.
Based off of what? I'm sick. We ain't getting no wins next year either at this point.
I'm just saying, in general, that would be our luck. We get 6 to 7 wins, and we're sitting in the 11-12 spot, and then all of a sudden, boom, Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams, they all come out in that draft, and they all get picked in the top 5, and there we are again, searching for that number 1 receiver, and we'll just pick up Mike Williams, who's going to probably come out of retirement and be our number 1 receiver, because that's what we love to do. But hopefully this team has a plan in place. That's why I'm kind of hopeful for Berganzi. When you brought that to the attention a couple weeks ago, when you said that there has to be a plan, that's why I'm like, more or less, I'm not mad anymore. I'm really upset because I want to see enjoyable football, because my football teams have been over for the last couple of weeks, especially now Florida State on the decline. So my football in September, it was high in college, and now all of a sudden with the NFL, it's just swiping my feet under the rug right now. It's a gutless feeling as a Titans fan, as you know, and all you guys listening. We want to see wins. We want to get back to that 2019, 2020 seasons where we actually had chances and we were the number 1 seed, and we went back to back division champions. And the way this division is shaping up right now, it's going to be one of the best divisions in football for the next couple of years, because the Colts look for real. Guys, the Colts look for real. The Jaguars are a really good football team, and the Texans are still trying to find themselves right now. But if the Titans don't shape up, we're going to be on the bottom for a very long time.
A very long time.
Let's just be hopeful at this point. I mean, we're not going to get any joy out of this anymore. So we just got to think positive, for me at least, and just think Berganzi has a plan. Just stay the course a little bit, because you like I've been saying too, you want to see, football games where you can say, we could build on that next year. We can keep building on that this year. There's been nothing in the first 6 games this year. You thought it was the 4th quarter last year where they should come out with a hurt Raiders team, and they did the total opposite, which is mind-boggling to me. So that's where I'm at with this franchise.
I'm going to hit you with a Sopranos quote from the one and only Junior Soprano. Some people are so far behind in the race that they actually think they're leading. And that's sometimes what I think this managerial department thinks with what they're doing with this team. They think, well, you know what? This is the growing pains of having a young coach and a even younger quarterback. There's going to be trials and tribulations, and we're going to work our way out of it on top. When in reality, you couldn't be doing things more wrong than you are. You're doing everything ass backwards. And there seems to be a common trend with the GMs we've had and the people in charge. They always think they're smarter than everybody else in the league, trying to do things differently. When the blueprint is right in front of you. There's no other professional sports league that's more of a copycat league than the National Football League. Okay, everyone knows every generation what's going to be good enough to win a Super Bowl. What style of offense is going to get you closest to a Lombardi? 25, 30 years ago, it was running the rock and it was knocking the heads off people.
Yep.
Now you can't really knock the heads off people, but you can surely air that football out and play tough defense and be disciplined. Those are probably the 3 things right now. You didn't have to be so disciplined back in 99, 2002. A lot of things flew. Now things don't really fly. Maybe because there's more of a fix in the game. That's neither here nor there. But this franchise never adjusts. They do not adjust at all. They tried to be the 2001 Titans in 2019, 2018. Now they had themselves a running back. They always find their way, for the most part, to get running backs that are some considered generational, and they ride them as long as they can. Pause. But it's not going to work anymore. And they're still doing that. Like they have Earl Campbell and Derrick Henry in the backfield. And it's like, why pick Ward at 1 if you couldn't care less about getting him in a rhythm. They will not allow him to get into a rhythm, and that first possession would be the perfect example, would it not, Jarett?
No, absolutely. I mean, today we're talking about running the ball and passing the ball. I mean, we outpassed today. We had 38 attempts compared to 15 rushes, where it felt like an eternity. We were running the ball every single play. But for us, maybe running the ball with all screens too as well, maybe it felt like a run. But especially on the first drive where you keep going back, it's just it's terrible football, and it needs to stop. And I don't know how much more we can take. But if we get a goose egg next week, kind of like not rooting for it, but if we get a goose egg next week against Vrabel, it may be comical, and I would love to see the reaction to you guys down in Nashville next week. How that all plans out. So that's gonna be the show. But everyone in the chat over here, you're saying play Restrepo. How that hasn't happened already, in my opinion, is crazy, because Tyler Lockett has been a no-show.
Oh, yeah,
Just put the trustworthy Restrepo in there. He's worked with Cam Ward. He knows how to work the zones and gets open. He's his comfortable receiver. You know, that's a safety blanket. Just throw him out there at this point just to see what we get. I don't give a shit he runs a 4.8. The guy can get open in the NFL, and that's the most important thing you could do, is get open, and he'll find him if they ever give him a chance to step on the football field. So I want to see that, just like everybody else wants to see that.
Not for nothing. I know some people might laugh their ass off that I'm even saying this, but for a fucking team that really can't move the football down the field, that's already super thin at receiver, like, if Treylon Burks was healthy enough to go for a physical with Denver, then why not just fucking throw him out there? He's under contract. Like not for nothing. I know that's over with. That's done with. Okay, we could never talk about him again. I get it, but it's like this team is so shit. This team is so shit. And you saw once Ridley went down, it was like, oh my God, you're gonna need angels in the backfield in order to have completions by Cam Ward. And it just makes you wonder, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it wasn't even, but anyway, we're saying the same things. So we're sounding a little redundant here because that's what this team does to us. But at the end of the day, it's just another week, hoping that something happens, the first domino falls for the inevitable change on all aspects of the football team, at least in the highest departments. So that's really it. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to throw out there, Jarett, before we call it quits, and we'll be back on Tuesday?
Everybody get the bag of popcorn, get ready to put it in the microwave, and press that popcorn button for next Sunday, because it's going to be a show in Nashville. And I'm going to be sitting on the couch laughing about it, because if miraculously, if there's football gods and we do beat them, my God, but I think Vrabel's coming to town, and
oh my God,
he's stealing everything. So
I don't know how forget about the spread, because I'm sure there'll be so many points that the degenerates will have to bet Tennessee.
Before we head out of here, while you keep talking, let me just look at the spread for next week.
I mean, money line. I don't know how the money line for the Patriots could be anything higher than minus 400.
It's actually, their money line is minus 325. They're 6.5 point favorites.
6.5. Listen, everyone that's watching this right now, listen to me very carefully. Before it changes, because it very well is probably going to change in our favor. Whatever your disposable income is at this moment, whether it's $5 or $500,000, I want you to take that money and I want you to put it on the Patriots minus 6.5. You can thank me at the bank later. There's no fucking universe.
Petting my mortgage on that.
Please do, Frank. There's no universe that this squad, with this kind of misdirection in every department, with this coach, under these circumstances, with a team that's the hottest team in the AFC right now, by the way, which everyone would have expected would have went to New Orleans and shit the bed. Nope, they fought a very sneaky good Saint team that's very close. They won again, and now they're coming back to Nashville, and there's going to be bulletin board shit all over Foxborough. You know there is. This team doesn't even need motivation. They're going to be handed it on a silver platter.
Listen, I just looked at this now where, you could see the percentage of the money that's being placed on it right now. And it's oddly similar to what happened on Thursday night, too, because everyone thought that the Giants had no shot against the Eagles, and Jackson Dart and Scatterbull waxed the shit out of them. But 88% of the money right now is on New England, with 12% going to the Titans, and 87% is on New England with the spread, with 13 going to the Titans. So that's oddly weird, because that was exactly what happened with the Giants and Eagles.
Dude,
I'm just saying
Jarett,
that's exactly what happened.
Well,
I will be betting -6 with
here's the question,
Patriots
Jarett.
as well.
What would the Giant Titans look like right now against each other?
Giants versus Titans?
Yeah, how would that look?
Yeah, no, it'd be a shit show. And
Exactly.
believe me, I have friends, and I have
without neighbors.
The wife, I have the wife. They're all saying the same shit. They're bad, but are they back? Maybe are they back?
Oh, they're so back.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, dude, they're so back.
We'll see. I'm just a hater on all of them. So
if I'm a Giant fan, I'm thinking wild card.
Oh yeah,
right now. I mean, a zillion percent. I'm thinking wild
they got
card.
their guys. So I mean, we hope we got our guy. We just got to prove it.
Yeah, like I said, it's the first week that I'm actually questioning that, and it's a very unfortunate thing. Now, when I wake up next weekend, I'm going to be ready to give him another chance to wow me and, give me something I can grasp on. There were some throws today, but not nearly enough.
No.
But it's just it's the Twilight Zone, and you got to hope we stop falling into it, because last week was nowhere close to getting out of it. We're still in it. We were never close to getting out of it, and now we're deeper. So. That's really it for this week, guys. Hope if you're not subscribed already and you're one of the many, many people watching, please do. We appreciate you joining in today. The respect you guys give us joining us after the game is very much appreciated. That's why we do what we do, and we're so consistent with what we do. And we love that you guys comment and share your thoughts as well.
Guys, and hype that video on the bottom for YouTube as well. And comment on Twitter as well. We have something brewing here. I'm in conversations with an old but very friendly guest of the show. So hopefully we'll get back. I'm not going to say him or her, but we'll hopefully within the next week or two. Actually, I think week we're gonna have a returning guest on the show. So stay tuned for that.
All right, guys, you're the man. So without further ado, we're going to check out for today, guys. Make sure to keep up with all our socials. And again, make sure you're liking, following, hyping, subscribing, all that. We'll see you on Tuesday, and hope everyone has a blessed rest of their Sunday night. And as always, tighten up. Sammy, send us out.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Talking Titans on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.